Before we start the video, 99.2% of you guys are not sub. Please help me out by giving me a sub. Let's get right into the video. What is up? I'll be telling you guys first about a stat build in general. So we will begin by telling you guys about the comprehensive list of stats and how to understand stats as a whole, and then I'll be telling you guys, how you should use your stat build depending on what weapon you use, of course. So stats are a way you can increase your abilities in Grand Peace Online. They are divided in several categories and can be accessed by through the menu by pressing M. Every level you gain up to like 3 to 5 stat points, which can be distributed to any stats. It's exactly, I'd say, 3. You usually get 3 every level, which can be distributed into any stats to increase effectiveness, okay? And your health and stamina will automatically raise by 1 passively. So the first stat is strength. Strength raises the damage output of physical damage, such as skills from fighting style like Blackleg or Kushiki, but it doesn't touch sword, guns or devil fruits, so just remember that. Strength is only used for Blackleg and Rokushuki and regular combat, the one that just spawn with. The second stat we have is stamina. Stamina increases your stamina, of course, and it gives you 2 more stamina points per 1 stat. Stamina is used by most moves, especially by devil fruits, and this does not affect your stamina regeneration. Only armor can affect your stamina regeneration. So if you wanna regain your stamina faster, you need to get armor that regens your stamina faster, because you cannot increase this expecting your stamina to regen faster, because this only increases the amount of stamina you have, not the regeneration. First stat we have is defense. Now defense is your health, your generation of health, and your block strength. That's 3 things, okay? So that's your health, that much amount of health you have, how fast your health regenerates, and your block, so how long you can have block before it breaks and get guard broken by somebody. Now defense can increase the damage output of certain devil fruits like Bombomuni, the self-destruction shield. That's the only exception, so don't expect to increase defense expecting your damage output if you don't have Bombonomi. Gunmaster. Now this is something a lot of people don't use because there's not a lot of weapons in the game, guns especially, that are good compared to the devil fruits and the swords and the fighting styles. Guns can be increased by range, so this has nothing to do with strength. This you have to put the gunmaster to do more damage using guns by range weapons like the cannon, shotgun and the rifle, and the bazooka, of course. Sword mastery. Now this is where a lot of people who don't have a devil fruit usually put into it, and it's sword skills, so like 1 sword style, 2 sword style, all of that, and it increases your damage, of course, when you're using a sword, and so literally any sword, right? The katana, the golden staff, the Elo's hammer, the flower bucket, the kraken sword, the kraken katana, all of those damage gets increased, and you increase as well, you unlock sword skills as well. Now devil fruits, the one that most people want to have. Devil fruit unlocks more devil fruit abilities, so the more points you have into devil fruit, the more likely you're gonna have more skills, or literally that's what's gonna happen. So if you want to have a very good, this is what you should use and put your stats into. If you have a devil fruit, you should always put it into devil fruit damage, except if your devil fruit is trash like Suke, then you should not be put it into. Since all this does is enhance the performance and increase the damage, and Suke has no damaging skills. Now, as we all know, this is basically how the stats work. As I just told you, what you just listened to are how the stats work. Now if you want to know how to build your stat build depending on what you have, I'll be telling you that in a minute, or not in a minute, in a second actually. So first we will begin by talking about exactly what you should have in terms of stats if you have a certain fruit. So let's start. If you have Suki, you should just reset. If Kill, you should just reset, and if you have Spin, you should have around 130 in fruit with 2 sword style and a lot in sword. If you have a Marrow, you definitely want to use a Blackleg build and a Cutlass or another good combo weapon. If you have Bum, main fruit with Blackleg and Crab Cutlass but then just reset Bum because it's not that good, except if you're doing dungeons. Barry at this point, only use it with Roku and Gravity Cane with most of the sword. If you have Gomu, you should have to have a Blackleg, but dump your points into fruits, and that's good. If you have Sushi, Gravity, you should be a black leg main. If you are a Gura user, you should have Cutlass and Nurkushiki. If you are a Hiye, you should have Pole and black leg. If you use Mera, you should main your fruit, of course, along with black leg and a Cutlass, Crab Cutlass. And you want to have 541 in fruits if you have Mera. Mago, you should obviously use your Mago as your main while using Trident or Cutlass with Rokushiki. If you are a Goro, you should be using obviously Black Leg and Crab Cutlass. If you're a Sun user, you should have the Cutlass or the Hook. And if you have PK like me, you can either use the fruit like me, I mainly use the fruit, or you can be a black leg and you just use your M1s along with black leg, main black leg along with the moves. So understand if that's easy to understand. If you are a Turi, of course you want to be a fruit main. If you have Elo's Hammer along with either Rokushiki or a Fishman Karate. Those are the best stat builds. I think that's the best, most comprehensive guide really. What you should have is that obviously if you have a good Delta Fruit, you should go for putting everything into your Delta Fruit and health. And if you're grinding, that is, if you want to do PvP, you should just follow exactly what I said before. Peace out.